3 craft that have been found that are actual motherships under the ice in Antarctica.
When it comes to UFO footage floating around the internet, it's always tricky to separate the real sightings from the hoaxes, but I consider myself an expert at this point. Even when the government wants to hide things or disprove true believers, everyone at Top 5 Scary always knows best. Question for y'all, what new footage have you seen floating around the internet lately? Let me know in the comments and let's dive into things. Let's kick off today with the most recent video on our list, and that's a UFO flying over Texas during this past Monday's eclipse. Almost half the United States and a good chunk of Canada was outside their homes to watch the skies go dark amid the broad daylight. Following the breathtaking event, multiple videos and photos flooded the internet, and understandably, a lot of people were over the moon to share their point of views of the moon covering the sun. However, amid all the jaw-dropping images of the eclipse, there was one video that stirred a storm for a different reason. Matt Wallace posted the video just before 3 a.m. BST with the caption, "A new video just surfaced of the UFO spotted over Arlington, Texas during the solar eclipse today, and people are freaking out because it seems to disappear into the clouds." So by the time I filmed this today, the post had been reposted around 10,000 times and liked around 64,000 times. Just for reference. The video starts by focusing on the partial eclipse, with a shadow appearing to quickly zoom by. The video then zooms out before the same shadow appears to be going quickly the other way, and then disappearing entirely. What made the otherwise perfectly normal aircraft video kinda eerie was that it just disappeared into the clouds and then not seen again. No resurfacing. Nada. Gone. A number of social media users have been freaking out because of the video, and others have tried to explain it in a way that makes sense according to modern science, because that's what you gotta do. User VikesRock23 said it might be shadow on the clouds from a higher altitude airplane. He had seen it before as an aviation spotter, whereas somebody else, Black Hawk CE457, decided to joke around by saying, "Hopefully they don't ask to see our leader." We got another one. "Beam me up, please. I will even let you do experiments on me. Just don't bring me back. And be careful what you wish for, dude. Alien abduction is no joke." For context, the solar eclipse took place on March 8th throughout Northern America, starting over in Mexico before going through Dallas, Texas, Indianapolis, Cleveland, and Buffalo, and then through the northwest corner of Canada. Around 32 million people live where the path of totality was, according to NASA, which was the area where the moon fully blocked out the sun, with a further 150 million reported to be living near it, and 99% of people living in the country able to see a partial or total eclipse from where they lived. Like I said before, millions of people flocked to the path of totality to see the eclipse in its full glory, so I'm expecting more videos of this UFO from Texas to surface any day now. UFO hunters were positive they found something real in their search for extraterrestrial life visiting planet Earth after objects were filmed apparently flying out of a volcano. And by that we obviously mean UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call the dang things. Mysterious objects were caught on camera racing out of the crater of the, let's see if I get this right folks, Popocatépetl volcano near Mexico City around the end of last September. And earlier in that month, alien expert Jamie Mawson shared clips from 3 months prior of not one, but 2 UFOs flying into the crater of the same volcano. The video from May was captured by a webcam which watches over the rather volatile volcano in the state of Puebla. In the intriguing footage, the peaceful pre-dawn sky is suddenly pierced by a fairly sizable glowing object that appears to be heading towards the crater of the volcano. However, before it can reach its perceived destination, an enormous eruption occurs and the UFO disappears amid the lava blasting out of the site. The bizarre video we have to show y'all from September shows a trail of lights bursting out of the crater of the 17,800-foot volcano in a straight line. Now, Jamie said he believes this volcano is acting as an interdimensional portal. So in the clip, you see brightly lit UFOs racing out into the sky from the smoke. By the way, an interdimensional portal is a gateway between 2 locations in space-time that allows intergalactic travelers to enter one place from another. So the 70-year-old explained that no man-made object could enter the crater since temperatures reach around 1,000 degrees Celsius, or 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. The volcano stands at about 17,802 feet tall, and its name literally means smoking mountain. It is one of the most active volcanoes out there. There are no humans getting anywhere near that. Alrighty, here you have it folks, a video that the Pentagon, yeah you heard me, actually released themselves. Apparently it's rare declassified footage of an unidentified flying object, UFO, spotted in the Middle East back in 2022. The footage shown before a congressional committee in April of last year as part of a defense update on UFOs, or as the Pentagon calls them, UAPs, shows a small spherical object that appears to shimmer as it quickly zips above houses and empty fields. You'll see it come through the top of the screen, and there it goes. Oh, that was a quote from Sean Kirkpatrick, the director of the Pentagon's all-domain Airplane Anomaly Resolution Office, long word, I know, otherwise known as AARO, and he told this to the Senate Committee on Armed Services. And he's like, why am I showing you this? This is the kind of data we have to work with and the type of analysis we have to do, which can be extensive when you have to pull these videos apart frame by frame by frame. Further, we're now matching all of this with models of all those imaging sensors so that it can be recreated. And he was like, I can actually show how the sensor is going to respond. He also mentioned like this is essentially all the data we have on this event, saying that where it came from and what it was doing remains a mystery to his team. Before I forget, the footage was captured on July 12th, 2022, to be specific, from an American MQ-9 Reaper drone. The high-tech camera picks up the movement, switching targets from people below to the strange orb, and the video was shown as the Pentagon revealed, wait for it, they were reviewing more than 650 UFO incidents. Pardon me, my brain's having a moment, because that is a lot of incidents. That's a lot of numbers. The more than apparently 650 cases is an increase from an unclassified annual report issued by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, DNI for short, in January of 2023. That summary said 510 cases were cataloged through August 30th of 2022. Yes, most of these cases are categorized into common objects like balloons or airplanes, but there's ones that don't fit into any of the categories, and then they're prioritized by where they were spotted. Like, are they attached to a national security area? Do they show some anomalous phenomenology that's of interest? So, the public hearing that I've been talking about, this was only the second time in the last 50 years where lawmakers have openly discussed UFOs. The first? May 2022. Like, we're getting better, but still lacking. So a month before the 2023 hearing, Kirkpatrick and prominent Harvard physicist David Loeb released a draft report outlining the possibility that alien spacecraft might have been able to travel to Earth by carefully examining the physical constraints of how objects travel through space. Now, the report is still under review, but I know I'll be following it very closely from here on out. Next up, a tale out of Alaska, which tends to be home to a lot of weird stuff. If you don't believe me, look up sea spiders. So in February of last year, an unidentified object was brought down about 10 miles off of the frozen coast of Alaska, and this was announced by US officials, and that's about it. All the other details are still being kept kind of mum. The US military pilots that were sent up to examine the object gave conflicting accounts of what they saw, which is part of the reason why the Pentagon was cautious in describing what the object actually is. This is according to a source briefed on the intelligence. The incident marked the second time that the US jets had taken down an object in less than a week, following the bringing down of a suspected Chinese spy balloon off of the coast of South Carolina the week before. The North American Aerospace Defense Command said it was monitoring a high-altitude airborne object over northern Canada, and military aircrafts were operating in the area, which this is according to a press release. And guess who talked about it? Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was like, yep, I have ordered the downing of the object. Now, according to him, not clear what the object is, or if it has any relation to the balloon. He mentioned he spoke with President Joe Biden and that Canadian forces would lead the object recovery operation. But they've been tight-lipped ever since. F-35 fighter jets were set up to investigate after the object was first detected, and that's when they brought back limited information. Some pilots said that the object interfered with their sensors on their planes, which that checks out for UFO tech. A lot of other pilots claim to have seen no identifiable propulsion on the object, and didn't have any answers as to how it was staying in the air. And like, this thing was at an altitude of 40,000 feet. You can't just stay up there and hang out. Searches for unidentified objects were concluded with no signs of debris from this situation. And this is according to multiple government statements, which means either they didn't find anything, or they for sure found alien tech and they're keeping their mouths shut. By the way, Canada tends to be a little more coy about alien and UFO stuff compared to the US. Members of the Mutual UFO Network have made claims about alien bases found underwater off of the coast of Alaska for years, and this is based on eyewitness reports from like decades ago. And finally for today, I'm going to chat about a sighting a little closer to home. Between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Saturday, July 26th of 2014, so about 10 years ago now, there were multiple UFO sighting reports in North York, Ontario. For starters, at around 9 p.m., Sarah Chun witnessed a string of 6 or 7 diagonal flashing lights in the sky from the window near her dining table in her condo before going outside on the balcony to observe. And well, she watched the flashing lights for about 25 minutes, recorded 2 videos on her iPad, and thankfully for all of us, she posted them on YouTube. So that's how we have it today. Toronto Police's 32 Division reported receiving several calls on the unidentified flying objects between, 7 to 10. Now, we have some other witnesses. Roxana Malecki, a local musician. She had exited a movie theater due to a fire alarm, and she posted some videos on Facebook. Sebastian Setien, a resident of North York, reported that he was entertaining guests while barbecuing on his balcony, took a photo at about 4:18, and then all the guests came out later around 8:40, and he saw the lights, but he lost all internet connection while recording the video on his phone. Also, this could have been a coincidence, but just saying, there were some power outages in Toronto, including at the subway station in North York and the Cineplex movie theater. Yeah, that's how they tripped the alarm. And there was other photographs, other videos, and well, there was a lot of suggestions as to what caused everything, but there was never a definite answer. And that brings us to the end of our time once again, folks. I've been Alexa, the resident ooky spooky girly, and if you enjoyed my ramblings today, could you help us out by giving this video a like, subscribing if you aren't already, hit the bell for more UFO chatter from